I'm doing it.
More on the beat.
Listen, I can see my people, see my people by your side. I can see my people.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra for the avoidance of doubt. We are streaming live through Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Uche Okafor Mefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra, and Anambra State is Biafra land. He is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And of course, he's standing in a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nandi Ukukano, the Prince of Afari Ibeku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom. The one and only man who stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people for almost 6 decades now. Nobody have been able to do that. He commands the loyalty of the Biafran people He's the director of Radio Biafra as well as Biafran Television. And by the special grace of Chukwu Kikabiama, I remain George Onyibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. Without wasting much of our time, we will be presenting a study this evening once again as it concerns us as a people. Our team remain back to our root. If you don't know where you are coming from, certainly there is no way you can come out and tell me you know where you are going to. We may look for avenues to justify our ignorance, to justify certain things that are happening in our life that should not have been. There is no way somebody will come out and say, I know where I'm going to, and you don't even know where you are coming from. I do not understand the yardstick you use to condemn yourself in order to place other things ahead of you. I do not know the barometer that you use to compare situation and circumstance as concern you as a people. And that is why it is very important we go back to our beginning. Some say, according to evolution, that our ancestors were chimpanzee. Then good and fine, we love it. And from what we are seeing today, it looks as if being a chimpanzee would have been better. But the same people who say your ancestors are chimpanzee, through the same evolution, their ancestors are pig. And then it's a matter of choice. But you don't even know where you are coming from. You believe everything that comes your way. And that is why whatever they talk about you, whatever they say about you, that is how it is. We are here to fight for the freedom of Biafra, to ensure that the sovereign state of Biafra is restored. That as it was in the beginning, if it were chimpanzee, monkey, and baboon that were there, we prefer it. And to do that, our people must be liberated in mind. Our people must be liberated spiritually. Our people must be liberated mentally and otherwise. Without that, we will only be building a new Nigeria. And certainly that is not why we are here. Nobody died for one Nigeria. No Biafran died for one Nigeria. Only those who don't know where they are coming from. Back to our root. We've taken time to look at the 7 pillars. The 7 pillars that uphold our culture. And we'll repeat it for those who are joining for the first time. We look at medicine, we look at food, we look at dressing, we look at marriage, we look at security, we look at religion and the relationship aspect of it. We've been able to conclude the first part, which is regarding our traditional medicine, and we have moved on to food, the kind of food we eat. It shows that our ancestors, first of all, were very knowledgeable people, very intelligent people. There is no tribe in the world that know how to cook more than Biafran people, or that have varieties of food as much as Biafran people. I must tell you, no tribe in the world. This is not to boast. Go and sample every tribe you know. Go and study the type of food they have. You will see that there is no tribe in the world that have more soup, more food varieties than the Biafran people. And then you will know, for a group of individuals to be able to begin to invent and discover what is eatable and what is not eatable, you will know that they are very knowledgeable people. Our food also comprises of all the vitamins. Our food we have different type of food. We move on to look at the type of food we eat, shows who our people are. When you say, give me a wudu, I know where you come from. If you say, give me tuwa and shenama, I know where you come from. When you come out and say, give me a goosey soup, I know where you come from. But most of you think, it's just food. No, all food are not food. And all food are not meant for you. So, depending or focusing or opening your eye on our traditional food, on our Biafran food, makes you know who your people are. We also looked at some of the things you need to know about our food. It can give us economic value if we patronize it. And I remember yesterday we ended by saying that they are also medicinal. That is where we stopped yesterday. But let me throw more light on that aspect. And why our people must go back to the drawing board. Most especially our mothers, our sisters. In those days, you will see women who had up to 5-7 children. Their stomach will be very slim. You begin to wonder. You won't even be sure that they have given birth to any child. Today, some people will say, our girls' belly they big because then they drink Gouda. They drink Gouda past my father. Why my father belly no big like their own? You see our women now, before they give birth to 3 children, their stomach is as if, in fact, their pregnancy never ends again. Most of these are attributes to them not being properly taken care of after delivery. Before, I don't know what is called fibroid. I've never heard about fibroid. All of a sudden, almost 70% of our women now have element of fibroid in them. Where is it coming from? How does fibroid comes? Because sometimes most of them, when they give birth. Let me not say this one. Let me just close that chapter. But it has to do with something with issues of blood in the womb of a woman. It grows into fibroid. But under a number of circumstances, when a woman gives birth to a child, during that period they call omogo, they have special soup meant for them. Every drop of blood in their womb must be flushed out. But I wonder those of our people who are giving birth in America, in China, are they doing ofo for you? Are they doing ofo yuma? That pepper soup? Are they doing it for you? And now you begin to know. And now you begin to understand. But of course, you can make it wherever you are all over the world. It's only if you know the value. It's only if you know the value, the importance of your food. Believe me. At the beginning of this study, I made it clear to our people. I said, I have lived close to Yoruba people. There are women that naturally, they don't have hips. And so they can't give birth to children because no hip. Most of these people were supposed to be subjected to operation, cesarean operation, and bring out the baby. But I tell you, for Yoruba people, it's almost impossible. Because they have the what they will take, give to that woman, that baby will shrink. Very small. They deliver safely, and in less than 2 weeks, that the baby blows up. But do we still know all this food? But then we must continue. And finally, drawing to conclusion, this very second pillar, which is our food, we must also move ahead to understand that producing our food, we must begin to produce our food surplus. Number one point I want to bring to your notice this evening is that as a people, we must begin to produce our food surplusly. This is one of the things that can guarantee our security in the next generation. They knew this. That is why they starved the generation of 1967 and 1970. They knew this. They took it as a weapon of war. That is why they make sure that many communities in Africa will not be able to grow their own food again. And then we must import food to feed ourselves. Even those food that cannot grow in other lands, they genetically manufacture them and send it down to us. And on a daily basis, we think we are advancing because we are eating imported pounded yam, imported everything imported. I went to somewhere they sell food, and they say, what do you want? I say, what do you have? They say, we have this, we have that, we have that, we have. The sound of hearing pounded yam. I say, give me pounded yam. But how do you people pound it? He says, it's a flour pounded yam. I say, give me a boo. That caused the story short. Because since when did pounded yam start becoming westernized? It's supposed to be pounded yam. But the point now is that the moment you do not produce your food in surplus, even slave will rule you. That is why today, when you hear Fulani headsmen, they are not coming to kill you direct. They are coming to destroy your crops. Because the moment they destroy your crops, that is the end of it. But most of you don't see it. But we know it's not going to be easy. But we must learn to behave like our ancestors. We must learn to behave like our people. We must learn to behave like them. Because there are a lot of things you may not understand. We need to produce our food in surplus. In those days, as a child, every home have a garden. Every home have a meaning. You go to the backyard there, you will get every vegetable, you will get most fruit you need, crops you need for preparing your food. Most people, of course, who are very rich, most people who are advanced, they understand the implication of this. You go to their backyard, instead of making a flower pot behind the house, they use this flower pot to plant crops. You don't need to buy okra in the market. Sometimes you don't need to buy vegetables. But where are those culture today? Where are those culture? As a child, I only observe my parents go to market, most especially my grandmother, to buy fish because there is no river in my backyard. And sometimes we even kill animals in our compound because inside that garden, some animals find home there. We must get to the stage where we must be able to produce our food surplusly. Of course, Fulani herdsmen are making sure that you don't farm again. Most of you do not know that Nigeria, as we talk, as we speak this moment, are facing food scarcity. Very soon you will feel it. All the farmers in Benue State, all the farmers in Kogi State, all the farmers across Biafra land, all of them have been crippled. Everybody have been discouraged from farming. And most youth now prefer to come to the city to ride Okada and so on and so forth. That is because there is no even market system or policies in place to protect their farm produce. But that is not the area we are going to. Our people must begin to grow their food. That doesn't make you a poor man. That doesn't make you a local man. But that actually gives you right to a food you know where it's coming from, a food that is actually tested and designed for your DNA, a food that will make you be who you really are. One thing you must understand about our food when it comes to our culture. We look at the second one there, we see we go ahead to look at the next one there, which is the danger of depending on others for food. One of the danger we must begin to look at when we talk about producing your food is that if you depend on other people to feed you, you have a problem. So as a people, we must make sure that the food we eat, we produce them. Now go and learn from Hausa. The only thing they eat, they produce. Go and learn from Yoruba. The same thing. But what are we doing? Of course, some of us depends on that. We must make sure that we are the one who are producing the food we eat, not depending on other people. I wouldn't say our people has become so weak in that aspect, no. Because there's still farmers around Obaru. There's still a lot of farmers in Delta, in Edo State. There's still a lot of farmers across Biafra land. They are still there. Though the Fulani herdsmen are making sure that they will destroy all of them, and then you begin to depend on them to feed you. There is danger there. So if you think you are advanced now, and so you do not care about what we feed, or we are waiting for government to initiate agriculture, rice for generation of Nigerians in the year 2020, free rice for all in the year 3030, wake up again. All these are systems that are designed already to make sure that you lose totally from securing food for your people. Go to many countries during their revolution time. Go to many countries during the industrialization era. Go to many countries during their infantry stage when they were growing up. All of them understand the importance of their food. All of them work hard to make sure they produce enough food for their people. as Biafrans, are we ready? Are we ready? As Biafrans, are we truly ready? We must look at the fourth one there. The role food play. Food play many roles in our lives, but most of you do not see it. No AK-47, no grenade, no nuclear weapon would have been able to stop the generation of 1967 and 1970. No weapon would have been able to exterminate them. It's not possible. But the lack of food stopped them. The lack of food weakened them. Because there were no food, they stood low. I repeat again, it is said that the shortest way to the heart of a man is through his tummy, his stomach. Feed your husband well. You will see he will love you more than you can imagine. Feed your children well. You will see them. They will be very healthy. They will be very happy. And I tell you, feed your wife well. That is the first security you give to your wives. Make food available for your father and your mother who are aged. They will pray for you for the rest of their life. Food play many roles in our life. We must not forget that food also is a weapon for love. How do you show love without food? This day you see when the Muslim do, they call it, is it saraka? Then what do the Yoruba call it? But somehow they share food in most of their occasion. We used to do this in those days. We used to do that. These days, how many times do you share food with your neighbor? You didn't learn it from the church. You were doing it before now. There are most people. In fact, I have been close to somebody who, because of her health conditions, cannot eat much. So she will cook different kind of food and watch them rot away. She won't give anybody. And so if I will not eat, nobody will eat. It's wickedness. We understand the challenges. But sometimes, when you learn to share food with people, your children never go hungry. There was a reason why our parents did what they did in those days. Those of you, when you study your Bible, according to prophetic declaration of David regarding Judas, he said, "You who ate my bread and drink my water." Sharing food have a spiritual role to play. Most of us has forgotten. He who ate my bread and drink my water. And when you see Jesus, he fed many. There was a reason why the Bible continued pointing out these things for you. He fed so many people, 3,000, and then another one says, is it 3,005? There was a reason. He constantly shared with his disciple what you call Holy Communion. But we have lost this value because we do not know. Most of us don't understand the role that food play in our culture. So if you have not been following the principle, if you have neglected them before now, I want you to go back. It does not take anything away from you, but rather it makes you better than who you are. Any moment from now, our lines will be open. I want you to call in and tell us, what kind of food, what kind of soup do you eat in your place that is medicinal? There are food that are fiber-based food. What type of food is that? I'm talking about Biafrans. What type of food are medicinal? What is the secret of sharing food? What is the benefit of us having surplus food? Most of you don't know that some of the apples we buy in the supermarket are actually chemical preserved and rotten apple. They import it for you. Most of you don't even know some of the process our chicken and turkey that we buy has gone through before they got here. But of course, that is why Biafra is here. That is why Radio Biafra is here. So as our lines are open, it is expected that you call in and make a meaningful contribution to this aspect. For we are going back to our roots. I'm not saying you should not live the Western life or the way you want, but our root must be preserved. It must be preserved because this is who we are in the end. I'll be back in a minute. Yes, at this moment, our lines are open, and a direct line or number to call this moment is our direct line 081 221 52971. The number to call this moment, give me your own contribution. What do you know about our food? What do you know? What do you think our people should know about our food? The numbers to call is 081 221 52971.
Listen. No. Mr. Pro, I'm doing it.
More. Oh, good evening, my brother.
Yes, sir. Good evening from
Mazi?
here.
Yes, my name is Amarachi Oziri. I'm calling from North. I'm from Umuokanyo Haji. Mazi, ka ebe ijere kemgbe esie ahịa achọgidere gị ike agwụ. Udodekwa.
Udode.
Chai. Mazi, the topic they put this night. Ana me si ofe egusi, ye fa iwe ofe egusi, ofe agbono, ofe ora, ofe okoro, ofe o nwere ihe na-akpọ our side ofe ụgbọgọrọ, that is melon. O nwere melon akwụkwọ ya ka anyị na-eji esi ihe, and the ofe bubu ofe. Maazị asị otu ihu m nọ na London na ọhịa m ụmụ m na-erikwa ha ọzọ akwụkwọ ọwụkwa iri ndị bekee ka anaghị eri every night ọhịa m na-enye ụmụ m, and ya hụ na ha erighị that ofe ndị ahụ gwụsara na agụsara m echi ya every day. Ya hụ na ha erighị those ofe ha ga-ehi ụra. So mụnwa na-esi ha every day. So ihe kpatarakwana ị ga-eji esi ụmụ ihe ndị a because this is our own food. But the people na ihe na-eme ha isi those ụmụ ofe ndị a na-eri. Some people gwa ha ndị na-esi ofe ha sị why esi ofe ndị a na nsi look at you people are crazy. You know, ụmụ ofe ndị a na-enye ya energy, na-enye ya ihe ọma n'ahụ. Ụkwa ụmụ junk food ndị a na-eri. Gị na-eri ihe ndị a ọrịa, ụmụ junk food ihe ndị a na-eri ọrịa ka ọgwụ. But gị were ofe ihe dị ka ofe ụgụ, shie ya ọfụma, rie ya n'ahụ gị, ị ga-ahụ ọbara ga-esi gị n'ahụ na-afụcha. But our people emeela mama oge m na-aga school ka maazị mgbe m na-aga school o nwere hotel anyị gara. So hotel ahụ ọ bụ ebe a na-eri nri ndị Igbo. Ụmụaka ndị a hụrụ ha na-eji fork na-eri ndị ha na-enwe ike iji aka rie nri our people. Ha na-eji fork na-eri ihe ndị a. Ndị dị na kantin ahụ were aka m rie ofe agbọnọ rie ihe na-eme ha iri ụmụ ihe ndị a. But ha mara na ụmụ ihe ndị a wụ nri na-enye ndụ n'ahụ. So ụmụ ihe ndị a please ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m onwe ihe karịrị our food because of our agwa ọjọọ niile anyị nwere n'ahụ mee anyị na-erifucha our food anyị. You know? Okay. So my dear people, so please my dear people, you have to cook our food. You have to listen to our mother and know how to cook our food. It's good. If you don't cook our food, if you eat those junk food, please, is another sickness. You have to cook our food and eat it. Both even if vegetable food, soup, okra, and egusi is very, very nice. It's going to give you a good health, a good strong bone, not stupid junk food, meat pie, everything, fillet fish, those things. These people, they're sickness. You have to eat and go to your home and cook your own food. Look at those soup, egusi soup, vegetable soup. If you cook all the food, our traditional food, my dear, you are going to have a very good health, and strong bone and strong everything. So that's why I want to say this night, my dear. So yes. God bless you.
Thank you. Before you cut off, yes. Do you know that tree they call moringa?
Yes.
Do you know they use moringa, the stem, they peel it and use it to make soup?
Yes.
Have you eaten it before?
I haven't eaten before, but I have people, people, my friend, they cook those. You see, those things.
In those days, we used to hear moringa leaf. In fact, recently, moringa seed. They tell you it contains this, it contains that, it contains this. And when you see the seed, you really don't know how the true looks like. Until one day, I bought the moringa seed, and I came home and said, look at moringa seed. Look at what is it. Look at my father said, this is moringa seed now. I was shocked. Because we have moringa tree planted everywhere in my grandmother's house. And we go there and peel the bark. Then we pound it in a mortar. We use it to make soup. It looked like a goosey soup. Do you understand? But today, how many people even know about the medicine involved when you make soup with moringa tree? They don't know. Thank you very much for joining us. And our
Thank
people
you,
must wake
God bless
up.
you.
Thank you.
All
We
right.
must continue.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Our people must understand and get involved. Can you hear me, caller on the line?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Shibundon Alasu, and I'm calling from Ada Province.
Go ahead, please.
My African representative, I greet you. Please permit me to speak in my other language.
I would prefer if you can speak English so everybody can learn what you are saying. Speak broken, pidgin English.
Mazonive, I thank you. I appreciate you. I don't know where to start. I thank you, Kokika Abiyama, who has made it possible for us to be where we are today. Who has made it possible that I can promise so that Biafra will come. I thank him on the behalf of our leader, Mazen Kano. Hello, sir. Are you hearing me? I thank our Chuko Kikabema on behalf of our director, Mazen Kano, who has been piloting this affair even up to this time.
We must continue. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there? Caller on WhatsApp.
From another womb. I got to bear.
Good evening.
There were my beloved brother. The topic is very okay this evening. My brother, continue the good work you are doing. Continue the fire. Continue hitting the fire. We appreciate you. We appreciate our Hamadiko members, Oshuku Prezu, Anya, and the leadership of IPOB, Wakangwa, and all the rest of them. My brother, this topic is very wonderful because the food we eat have a lot to do in our life. The food we eat, good food is good life, good health, as they say. My brother, like you rightly said, the whole food we eat in Biafra land, so the food we eat, even from that okra soup, obo soup, egusi soup, they have a lot of things. They are very, very medicinal. Man, they like this yam we eat, we call it common yam. But do you know that yam contains enzymes? Yam is a very big medicine. I remember when I take my Onyibe from Greek to Nigeria, he was only eating yam and fruits in Nigeria. And she's telling me if she has the opportunity to go to Africa, she will only concentrate on yams. All of them, the whole food we eat in Biafra land, they are all 85% of them are medicinal, but our people don't know. They are going for westernization, Western food, going to what they call it, shop right, all those men, eating this packaged food, packaged food that is causing them cancer, and forgetting what Kabiam gave us in our year. Man, do you remember this cocoa? What they had there? Cocoa yam. Even my brother, all these things are very, very medicinal. There is one yam, one black, one yam. I don't know how they call it. But that yam is yam, but there's one that is yellow. All of them are medicinal.
That yellow one is very scarce.
Thank you.
We call it we call it okpenye.
Yeah, in Igbo. Yeah, there are 3 types of yam in Igbo land. My brother, all of very, very medicinal. There are type of sets you'll be having. They'll just with that yam. There are a lot of food. All our food are very, very nutritious. One, they are very, very high proteinous, and they have all classes of food you can eat. They are very, very better. Our people are going to. Will tell you they don't eat apple. Actually, I don't eat apple, but I want to eat it. So we tell it is smelling. But man, it's our food.
What apple is my best food.
And yeah, apple is one of the best. My brother, apple is the best food we have in Biafra land. And I love it when I come to Nigeria. You see all my big brothers, all these bankers, I go to eat food, I see them eating. I love it. It interests me. I love it. So continue doing the way you are bringing us back home. Will keep you. Continue opening our eye, opening our mind, calling us home. I love that. Let me hang in there. Thank you, my beloved. Continue the good work.
Thank you. We must continue. Our people must understand. We must begin to appreciate these things. Like our brother just said something regarding yam. Most of our people don't even know how many type of yam that we have. Our last caller just said they have 3 type of yam. But I know more than 9 different type of yam. And I know their name in Abo dialect. And those from Abo will understand what I'm saying. We have Ekmo, we have Okbenye, we have Umbwa, we have Ore, we have Agene. All the yams have name and we know their purpose. If you call, I think if you know any food that is good our people should be taking, you're free to air. Because that is the essence of this program. A lot of things are missing. Names, even names of everything we know is being exchanged for others. But we will get home. We are going home. And there is no two ways about it. Yes, a caller on the line. Your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Of course, network issue, but we must continue. Caller on the line. Can you hear me?
Hello, this is Emmanuel.
Caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes, this is Emmanuel.
Your line seems to be very low. We must continue. Our people must have value and regard for our food. It's going to help us. Can you hear me, caller on the line?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chema.
Go ahead, please.
So I'm going to maka onye gbasara ihe na-ekwu gbasara ofe ahụ na-esi. I could remember when makwụkwọ m dị ndụ. Ọ na-awa ya da ya ga-abaka ya rịadị, ya ga-akpatacha okwu ahịhịara. Ya were bịa siere anyị ofe. Ya bụ ya sị na ka a ga-asara ya ma na dị kọmọ ụlọ ofe a na-eji obere ihe na-esi ofe. Ụlọ ka a na-abịa na agasta nke azụ okporo ụzọ zụta ma ọgwụgwọ otutu were siere anyị ofe. Ilachakwa ihe dịga dịka abịa. Ma agị ma ya la dị ka agasta sị ga-asara ya were chite mere ya nya ka a ga-asara ntịta. Agazụta ntịta ya ga-abaka ya ga-agbata anyị ha na aga-agbata anyị ha esichara ya ofe na hita ya rie ihe na-adị anyị mma. Data otu ụmụ ihe ndị ala ma brọda unu na-ekwu na dị izi Chineke mere tere wepụtara mmadụ dị unu sị na unu ga-ekwu na ndị anya na anyị na-achụgharị ọnọdụ anyị. Ana m achọ dịka unu na-eme nke onye nwaanyị bụ unu ya na-ekede unu n'elu enweghị ọ bụla ga-eme unu. Ala Biafra Chineke mebere ya ka ha na n'ime ndị ahụ na-eri isi furu efu ọ ga-alaghachita. Ana m achọ dịka unu na-eme nke a Chukwu okike bụ unu mee ya ochi. Amen.
Ise. We must continue. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Ada.
Maggie George, I'm very, very happy to speak to you this night. You know, I've not had your voice for a while. Your voice yesterday, I almost fainted. That's as much as I'm addicted to your voice. My name is Madam Wobu. I'm calling from Aba. I am ardent IPB member in my 60s. In fact, when I was so ill last year, I asked the dictator to go to Ghana for one thing. Let me before I will go home. And I know I'm going to do that. Please, this issue we're talking about now is very, very important. But in fact, when I heard you discussing this issue yesterday, it brought my mind back to a lot of things. By dwelling on foreign food. I asked somebody, in fact, and I can remember, Kamjoro, on the agri program, I name somewhere now by here. Masia, Bia, Kaiga, a different way. I gave you now calling on a yield of Uma. Maka, one particular statement they make. All seen Israel, see that they are surrounded by 7 nations that hate them. How can they allow their enemies to feed them? Why would we allow our enemies to produce our food? in particular are busy jumping about and all those areas. In fact, we have to go back to our roots. Go back to, even if in my apartment, you can plan to go. Thank you very much. I'm happy to talk to you this night.
Thank you, my sister. We must continue. Biafrans, wherever you are all over the world, this is a matter of survival of a people. Your children eat apu, they eat gare, they eat pounded yam, they eat egusi soup, they eat our food. It's not a sign of backwardness. God actually designed food with a testing divine machine to match our DNA. Don't make any mistake about that. Do not think that relegating your own culture to the background is what makes you, you now become advanced. I want you to consider those who have gone before us. All the things they are trying to do, where did he lead them to? Somewhere you are going to depend on our food to survive. I hope you will understand what they are. Because most of our children now cannot cook. They don't even know how to make. The only thing they can prepare is boil water. But how many people will boil water, and how many years are you going to use hot water? May God help us. Still on the 7 pillars of our culture, we must go back to our root. I will sign up temporarily from here. We will come back. Encourage your people. You must eat our local food. Irrespective of our Hausa Fulani rampaging everywhere, discouraging people from farming. You must start one garden behind your compound. Even if it's scent leaf, even if it's curry leaf, you must have them at your backyard. We must start from somewhere. May God be with all of us. I'll be back in a minute, signing off temporarily. Thank you.